Hey there, health pioneers. Dr. Nathan Karchner here. In my practice, I focus on longevity and preventative medicine and helping you be the best you possible and achieve the longest, most fulfilling life possible. I wanted to talk to you about my personal journey in health and longevity. I talked before about how in medical school, I don't think we necessarily get a lot of training on how to live healthy, long, happy lives. We get a lot of training in disease processes, but the alternative on things to do to live the best lives possible are excluded, which isn't the medical school's fault. We're there to treat pathology. But that just means I've had a long opportunity to discover for myself things that will help me. This is a little bit selfish, just help me to live long, happy, and healthy. I talked before about the 4 pillars of longevity. That's diet, exercise, sleep, and then what I call purpose. That's your mental health, your social health. Lots of factors going into the purpose. I think personally the thing that I struggle with the most is diet. I feel like I exercise regularly, a mix of strength training and cardio. I feel like I get good sleep. I haven't worked night shifts in about a year, and since stopping night shifts, I've gotten a lot better sleep. I feel like my purpose is there. Extremely satisfying job and satisfying home life, and um, everything can be more optimized. But in those 3 areas, I feel like I'm doing well. In diet, I feel like is my big struggle. I have been overweight for since high school. I remember in high school I wrestled at 171 pounds. Now I had to wrestle, I weighed 180 pounds, but I had to wrestle at 170 pounds because the guy who wrestled at my weight was much better than me. And so I had to cut down that 10 pounds, which isn't a lot, but it sure felt like a lot when I was in high school trying to make weight for those wrestling tournaments. After high school, my weight went up significantly to where I've been anywhere from 210 to 230 pounds. Now, I've done a lot of things at that weight. I've done ultra marathons. I've skied from the top of the Grand Teton. I did an MMA fight, and I did all of those things at a suboptimal weight for me, though. When I think about times that I had weighed less, it was in high school when I was, cutting weight for that, for my wrestling tournaments, and that one MMA fight that I mentioned. I cut down to 190 pounds. And then after that fight, I immediately went back up to about 220 pounds. It's suboptimal in for a lot of metrics. I've measured my A1C and it's slightly elevated. It's not in the diabetic range. It's not even the pre-diabetic range, but it's more than I'd like to live the longest, healthiest life possible. My blood pressure's in a fine range, but it could be better. It could be improved. And one of the best ways to improve blood pressure is by losing excess adipose tissue or fat tissue. The biggest thing that motivates me, much like it's motivated me in the past to lose weight, is athletic endeavors. I mentioned that I've done a few ultramarathons. I've done 300-mile ultramarathons. I did Antelope Island. I did one out in by Omaha, Nebraska called Hitchcock 100, and I did the Wasatch 100. And in the Wasatch 100, I finished in a time, I forget the exact time, but it was like 29 hours and 30 minutes. And if you finish under 24 hours, you get this special award. And I don't remember what the reward is called, but I do remember that under 24 hours was a special award. And so I've set it as a goal for myself ever since I first found out about this award for this ultra marathon, that's something that I wanted to do. Now, currently, as you look at me, I'm 220 pounds, which I've done ultra marathons before at this weight, but it'd be a lot easier to finish the Wasatch 100 in under 24 hours if I had 40 pounds less of body weight on me. The BMI, body mass index scale, is not a perfect scale. It doesn't take all the factors into account. But based off that scale, about 180 pounds would be an ideal weight for my height, which coincidentally was the weight I was in high school. So I'm going to have you come with me on a journey as I try to get into running shape to finish this trail race in this time allotment. Um, Not only to help me run this race in a certain amount of time, but also to help me have a long and happy life and live to be 120 hopefully. And eating a diet that's got the correct macronutrients and micronutrients is key. My biggest problem is that I have a sweet tooth, that I enjoy candies and cakes and cookies and ice cream more than I should. Now, I've talked before about diet and multiple strategies to help um, uh, avoid overeating and help be at a healthy weight. And the strategy that I'm going to employ is calorie counting. I've tried multiple other strategies, time restriction, I've tried ingredient restriction, and all of those are beneficial to a degree, but I'm convinced that calorie counting is the surefire way to maximize the important macronutrients as well as minimize the overall number of calories. Now, in this weight loss goal, we're looking at losing about a pound a week, which isn't a lot. So we need to be in a little bit of a deficit every day and avoid those binge eating episodes that have plagued me in the past. But that's the strategy. That's the strategy because I want to avoid loss in lean muscle, because lean muscle is an important aspect when we look at longevity. People who retain lean muscle for the longest live the longest. So I want to do everything I can to avoid loss in lean muscle. Hopefully that's not too much personal information. I just wanted to share with you the things that are motivating me and that I'm focusing on in the near future. So come with me on this journey. I'll share with you all my trials and the things that work for me and the things that don't. And hopefully we can learn together and be healthy together.